Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this evening's presentation.
Greetings, my name is Harrow, and tonight we'll explore a tale of reasons why you should try Classic WoW, even if you doubt it is worth it. For a change, I wanted to ignore all problems concerning vanilla, just like majority of hyped fans. In this piece, I will focus on better side of things, reasons why you may regret never trying it. Classic World of Warcraft surely can radiate pure light that soothes your senses and makes your mind peacefully rest. Usually I wouldn't be myself if I didn't mention that it can do exact opposite sometimes, but not today. No, today I will not say this, not anything like this, no, Vanilla is upon us. I am not even sure if I will be able to upload it before the launch day. You know, mainly because I don't have much expertise in making those videos. And by not much expertise, I mean I still suck at it. Anyway, as of this recording, Classic is not yet live, and I would love to tell you all why you may wanna give it a shot. And final note, you can easily wait a month or two before starting your journey. It may even make your experience a little bit better because less crowded locations, etc. So if you didn't make a character yet, it's probably not too late to do it. Okay, I feel like this intro is dragging, it's longer than I intended, so let me begin. I have to start with some more obvious reason, but I will try to keep it brief. If you like Warcraft lore, you feel this world. If great stories are things you appreciate, there aren't many games with such complex worlds, with as brilliant way of introducing player into the plot as old WoW does. Especially in games that aren't single player, but it's a different issue. In World of Warcraft, player can feel everything. From the little things, like a girl losing her necklace, to the big ones, like being princess of a dwarf kingdom. I know people who focus on those aspects are rare, but I really recommend all of you to try to dive into those aspects a little bit deeper and a little bit more often. Or you can just find some freak like me who can spend all his time during leveling talking with you about those things in some voice channel, dropping lore bombs, trying to explain what is going on with this whole new plague that apothecaries around the world talks about and constantly experiment with. The amount of independent stories in WoW is exceptional. Hundreds of NPCs involved, their struggle, their drama, their victories and defeats. It's perfect. And because such little details are so good, the whole world seems to be alive. It's living on its own. You, the player, you are just a part of it. It doesn't revolve around you. In modern WoW, everything's about you. Back in the days, no. And those stories have a bigger purpose, even the small ones. Their existence explains those little sides of the story that you cannot learn just raiding or doing most important quests like attunements. This is what used to make Warcraft universe so complex and special. Okay. I think like this wasn't brief, but you know, with Floor and me, it's always longer than intended. I can't help it. It's a compulsion. Ask my guildmates. Next thing needs a little backstory. We need to travel to the 90s, when first best-selling Blizzard games saw the light of dawn. You simply can't overestimate influence Blizzard had on gaming. First Diablo, tremendous effect on the industry. Atmosphere created was a determinant, a milestone that everyone had to keep in mind, creating games even a bit similar to it. Warcraft 2 was an important game in history of the RTS. StarCraft with its expansion changed real-time strategies forever, and esport was identified for years with first of the StarCraft franchise, until the second part replaced its predecessor. Alongside with games like Counter-Strike, it shaped gaming scene we know today. Then Diablo 2 with the expansion that made vast community that remains to this day. People still playing it, and it's like 20 people, we're talking about tens of thousands after 20 years. Finally, leaving the 90s, in 21st century, Warcraft 3 set expectations for plot and how it should be conducted. And why do I talk about all this? It's simple. World of Warcraft is one of the most important games ever made. Classic changed gaming forever. If you like it or not, it just did. And I am not talking about only about the MMO genre. I am talking about everything, from pop culture, where WoW for years was a synonym for game. Media outlets used the W logo when talking about games in general or just mentioning them. South Park made memorable episode based on WoW. Or, other elements. Just look at quality in WoW. Gray is crap, white is normal, green is uncommon, blue is rare, purple is epic, orange is legendary. Even people that never played any of the Warcraft games knows this. It's the law. Okay, I think you get the idea. This is very good reason to play Classic, either if it's your first time or not. I honestly think WoW is an animal farm by George Orwell of gaming. A must-know position. Also, maybe it's for you, maybe it's not, but it's surely worth trying. If you consider yourself a gamer, Classic is, and I know how it sounds, Classic. An archetype. A primal element everyone should at least know. Moving on to community aspect of WoW Classic. You can look at Vanilla in two separate ways, as a game standalone and as an old version of WoW. The second one is easier to explain, so I will try to take this angle. I mentioned it before. In BFA, you don't need friends. You don't need any human interaction. Surely, everything you do nowadays, let it battlegrounds, work quests or raids, etc., you have other people play with you. But there's nothing that makes you talk to those people. No incentive. You don't have to communicate with them in any way, shape or form. You can be total garbage of a person and it won't matter. You will still be able to smoothly play. You won't accomplish most difficult tasks like killing all right bosses in Mythic, but you'll be able to see all the content. In Vanilla, it's not true because of multiple reasons. First of all, you won't find a group without talking to other players, there is no LFG tool. You can have someone to talk to others on your behalf, but you still need to have that someone a friend. So, at least one person. It's like infinite more than on BFA. Second of all, your name matters in Vanilla. Servers are somehow closed communities, and if you're a total douchebag many times, it will stick to your name. It's not cross-realm everything. You will meet same people over and over again, and if you are a douche, you won't get an invite next time. Some people even look at names on an auction house, so they won't buy anything from someone they don't like. They are actually people who will pay a little more just to give money to a person they've met and liked, then there's some asshole that they very, very disliked. It's not unusual for players to really bond with others in one way or another, even if they are not in the same guild. Now, when you look at Vanilla as a standalone game, you can see a game that is not made only from game mechanics, but social dynamics as well. World relies on some people being farmers, crafters, PvP and PvE heroes. In Classic, whole server knows best PvE guilds, names of rank 14 PvP players, best crafters for everything, etc. Servers are as strong as communities living on it. If social aspect dies out, all other aspects will soon die with it. But it is true only for the first years of WoW history. The further that this aspect is less important. And this social aspect is what makes Classic WoW so unique nowadays. It wasn't as unique back in the days, but today they are not making games like this anymore. And because of it, it's worth trying. Let me tell you that I am not a very sociable person myself. I usually stick to the few people I know already. I am not very big on whole community aspect of anything really, but I still absolutely adore how it turned out in Vanilla, because it is that good. Next train stop in why Classic is worth trying, leveling. You may wonder, wait, what? Isn't it very long and often boring process that only is necessary to hit max level and start your actual gameplay? No, it's not. In Classic, leveling process is an adventure. The road from 0 to, well, less than 0. In Vanilla, you're more of a soldier, adventurer than a hero. People playing Modern WoW or some other endgame oriented games may think that leveling is just necessary evil, but it's not true. When of course it is long and mundane to some extent, if done with right mindset, it's not just a way to get into max level endgame content. Leveling in Classic is a content of its own. What I said earlier, story that is decentralized and conducted in an engaging way, it feels like everything you do actually matters. You made a small difference, and it makes hitting each and every new level fun. It surely wasn't easy to do, create a world with max level raiding and a PvP environment, while at the same time making a road to max level interesting. If you don't follow some guides that strips all the pleasure from leveling, making it a speedrun, if you let just world to guide you, overcoming difficult tasks, teaming up with people along the way, either to do quests or try to clear your level-tuned dungeons, engaging in random PvP just because other faction is your enemy, if you let yourself feel that atmosphere, you're going to have a pleasure that can rival gameplay that starts after you cross level 60 finishing line. If you think WoW may not be for you, just try hit that traditional tryout level 20, and then you're gonna have a slight idea how WoW looks like. And if you're planning on hitting 60 as fast as possible, maybe slow down a little if you're not in hardcore guild. Just try to feel the magic you can miss while speedrunning. And finally, it's just a great game. And I am not talking only about content, but overall. One of the most tenacious arguments against playing old versions of World of Warcraft in the past was graphics. It meant, well, I will play on classic settings myself, no doubt about it, but I get some people are bothered by old textures. But today, the new version of WoW Classic graphics are gonna be updated, so this argument is no crap. High settings looks pretty good, maybe not awesome or I don't know, like Witcher or Cyberpunk level, but they are pretty good. Music, of course, outstanding. Like in every Blizzard game ever made. Let it be Diablo, StarCraft, Warcraft as real-time strategy, Hearthstone, or even Overwatch and Heroes of the Storm. Music in Blizzard games is on its own level. Besides, amount of activities in-game you have available is outstanding. And again, I am not talking only about raids and PvP, but also professions, collecting crap, like keys, pets, vanity items, etc, gaining reputation in unimportant factions like Timber of Hold, and so on. There is no way you will be in a position with nothing to do. On the other hand, if you have specific goals, you don't have to bother with any of those activities. So, you have choices, and that's good. Player versus player on the endgame is pretty exciting and dynamic. If PvP is what floats your boat, Classic has one of the most epic environments to do that of all games ever made, and I am not exaggerating. Later in WoW history, PvP was sedated, reduced pretty much to battlegrounds, arenas and occasional skirmishes, while farming or questing, or near the meeting stones, I guess, before the Raid Finder kicked in. Vanilla lets you feel fantasy war, like it should be felt. Spontaneous battles in open world, not only on max level but also on 30s and 40s. An example, Hisba Foothills or Strangleton Vale, also known as Good Morning Vietnam! Everything is precious. And finally, aspect that made WoW so famous, PvE. Dungeons, raids, outer encounters. It is absolutely magnificent, epic both in gameplay and atmosphere. You feel excited when doing instances, especially raids, and accomplished when you finish them. Encounters, especially final bosses, are an absolute awesomeness, no question about it, and best thing for all of it isn't forced. No one tells you it's epic. There is no like million cutscenes and NPCs talking about how legendary it is, how uncommon, one of a kind, once in a lifetime, all that crap. No. You, a player, can see how big given scenario is. Your judgment is what matters. Game just shows you what it has to offer. You see this boss? Kill him. You see this encounter? Do it. And your feelings about it usually just align with what developers and story writers had in mind. They anticipated how players will fit in their world and how would they react. And it's pretty damn hard to do, so yeah, you gotta admire creators for that. That's it for today. Everything you may be interested in about this video is in the description. On the end note, I wanted to just mention that I waited years for official vanilla, and all of the above is what made me go back over and over to the old versions of WoW. Those are not just random people's opinion that I collected from all over the internet. Those are my actual thoughts on the topic. It's how I see it, and I really hope what I said is clear, and I didn't lose myself in the labyrinth of my reflections, my player's maze, if you will. Anyway, I should leave it at that. So, ladies and gentlemen, be well, until the next time.